Maybe, or maybe not.
Yes.
Hey everyone. Happy
Hello.
Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. We know we are a day late. We apologize for the last minute reschedule, but life happens. But we're
Yeah,
here.
we
Uh,
are.
we've got lots of stuff to talk about, and you've got both of us, Seth and Carly, to do it.
Yay. And we will be here for the next few weeks, I believe. So,
I plan on being here for the next couple weeks.
yeah.
We've got some days in April that I know I won't be here, and neither will you. But next few weeks, hopefully we'll be able to do it on our usual time and schedule.
Yes. Smooth sailing.
So before we jump right into recording the podcast, though, we want to say a little pre-show hello to Michael Bingham, first in the chat with a Wayne's World reference. Always welcome, Michael.
Woo-hoo.
Also in Derek Ho's corner, Blossom and Michelangelo checking in. Hello to both of you. And our good friend John Self we will be sharing some of his reports a little bit later in the show. Thank you for checking
Yes.
in, John. Brian Sager wants to know if he missed Dollywood's 40th anniversary. I did read reports about
Sort
that.
of yes and sort of no. So the
I
park opened this past weekend, but the actual 40th is the first weekend in May.
Mhm.
So while this was the kickoff of the season, the actual 40th and the 40th celebration commenced, but the actual anniversary is in May, where they're going to be doing some more things.
My I'm sorry, I got distracted by something. Yeah, I sort of like how Disneyland is doing their anniversary
Correct.
before their actual anniversary. But I was interested to see that the 40th season kickoff was Dolly's first public appearance since her husband passed away at the end of the month.
You know what? She's such a show businesswoman that there was never a doubt in my mind that she wouldn't be there for, all the fans that look forward to it every year. I'm sure it was hard.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I think we've got quite a few people watching us online.
Yay.
So, hello, everyone. We are going to kick off the recording of this episode in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse FanFest. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, what have you been up to the past week?
I have been laying low and stalking the socials for every single tidbit of Epic Universe, nuggets, people's short reviews, the merchandise. Oh my God. Now TMs can finally post the merch and photos as long as they're either professional photos or ones taken at home. So like you could take pictures of the merch you purchase. My buy list, I'm thankful first off, because I like to think before going into a shopping situation. And I already have quite a few items that I need. The Isle of Burke merch is insane. The Dark Universe merch is insane. There's a wonderful t-shirt with an etching of the castle that I need. There's a lot.
I'm gonna go so broke in my first few visits there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't have any Epic Universe news in our script for this week, but come on, we got to talk. We can't let a week go by, especially since, as you said, this is the first time that we have photos from inside the park that are publicly released. Both ones officially taken by Universal and also ones from Color Vision, who is the photo partner. So we've got both glamour shots of each of the lands that we've zoomed in on in an article on our website. You can check out all of the little details. but also meet and greets, both a photo op at the front of the park, and also meet and greets with characters like Igor, the Bride of Frankenstein, and
Invisible
Toothless.
Man. Oh my
Invisible
God.
Man. Well, you can't see those pictures yet.
No.
But we've also got Toothless and
Oh my
Toothless.
God.
Confession, I have never actually seen any of the How to Train Your Dragon films all the way through until I found a place online where I could still order a 3D Blu-ray of the first two films. So I watched the first movie, and that's a hell of a movie. That
It
is
is.
actually really holds up. The animation,
Oh
the
my
story, the characters, and I am in love with Toothless. I can't wait to go and hold my hand up to his forehead. Hopefully he
God.
reacts just the way my cat does, and lets me rub his forehead.
Look at that smile. I know I was also a sleeper on the movie until a couple months ago. This is one of the best movies I had seen in a long time.
Mhm.
It makes me so hyped for the land, and now everything that we're seeing, the land looks insane, amazing. I'm in
Yep.
shock. So many things.
So I'm super jealous of our publisher, Matt, who is in there on a friends and family, or a team member and family visit right now, I believe. We will, the two of us will be getting a preview in early April. We thought it would be late March. But we'll be there in the first weekend of April, and hopefully be able to talk all about it right after that.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Very excited.
And you know what? For our first visit, I was telling you, the rides will be there. I am just so excited to just get acquainted with and walk through the park and just see what's what and explore the little crevices and shops, because there's going to be so many details to kind of all take in, and it's going to be overwhelming.
I want, I feel like I have, through blueprints and concept art and stuff, virtually written all of the rides in my brain, but I want to feel the vibes. I want to sit on a bench. I want to listen to the music.
Yes.
I want to see what it feels like. That's what I'm all about. So
yeah, me too.
Very excited.
I would love to go. I mean, after now, everyone's raving about Stardust Racer, saying it's better than Velocicoaster. So I will say I am very hyped for that now. But yeah, I just want to be in it.
All right. Well, I did not lay quite as low as you. I did not have a super exciting week in the theme parks, but I did make it out, not on closing day because I knew it would be a madhouse, but just a couple days before closing of It's Tough to Be a Bug. Took one last trip through it. Very happy to see that the Hopper animatronic was still working for my last show, and people still screamed at the spiders dropping, and squealed when the bugs go under your butt at the end. A lot of stuff in that show still worked. I will miss it, but I'm looking forward to the Zootopia attraction that will be opening by the end of the year, apparently. We'll see if they
were not there when they gave out the glasses, right?
No, the day I was there, they've been for many years using just generic 3D glasses, but apparently for the last shows they brought out the original Bug's Eye glasses.
Iconic.
Yeah. So I totally would have stolen one if I had been there.
Oh, 100%. I haven't done it in years. I'm just about it. I don't like the little sensations. So that's why I'm like optimistic, but also cautious about Monsters Unchained. Have you heard if they're going to be doing any puffy stuff in the seats?
I have heard that you can feel the monsters breathing on you, and that there's some sort of tactile,
Ooh, okay.
I'm not sure if that's pokers or ticklers or just air, but I've heard that if you get jump scared easily, that Monsters Unchained is probably not the ride for you.
Oh no.
Because it's maybe not quite Halloween Horror Nights Haunted House scary, but for a theme park ride, it is quite jump scary.
So are they going to have a little like adult diapers vending machine? Concealed in a coffin.
hopefully the ride seats are easily washable. You know, they can just hose them down.
Oh my God. I can't
Okay.
wait.
I don't want
Honestly.
that imagery. I don't want that
No.
imagery. Get that out of my
Sorry.
head. I do have to give one final shout out before we move on to the news to Cirque du Soleil for inviting me out this week. It is World Puppetry Day on the 21st, International Celebration of Puppetry. They invited me to meet with their head of puppetry and the woman who portrays the giant hand in the show.
Very cool.
And she gave me a backstage tour. We went from the grid up above the stage to the lifts underneath the stage and the rehearsal hall. Got to see how all the giant puppets are manipulated. It was a great tour. I've got an article about it on Orlando Weekly, and you might see something pop up on Attractions Magazine as well. So
nice.
go and support a puppeteer. Go see a puppet show on the 21st.
Yes, I love how if anyone follows the Bob Baker Marionettes in LA,
Oh,
they do
yes, I
a
love
wonderful adopt a puppet, which is so cute.
Yeah, they are the best. If you're out in Anaheim,
Yeah.
take a day trip, take a day tour, and check out Bob Baker.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think without any further ado, it is time for us to jump into the news in the queue. We are starting out first in Chicago, where the new Harry Potter shop is going to be opening on April 10th. And we've had Harry Potter stores pop up in places like New York City. This one is on Chicago's Miracle Mile, and it looks quite impressive. It includes North America's biggest butterbeer bar.
Yes, this looks amazing. I love the New York one. Whenever I go home and I head into the city, I go visit it, but it is quite small and always busy. So I'm curious if this one is like gonna have much more walking space because it gets so cramped in there that you can't really appreciate it.
Yeah. At least architecturally, it looks pretty impressive. This is located at 676 North Michigan Avenue, right below the Omni Hotel Chicago. So if you're staying in that hotel, you just head on down to the ground floor and head in here.
Pop in for a Butterbeer.
And they're trying to kind of blend classic downtown Chicago style with the Wizarding World architecture, references to the Goblet of Fire and the Triwizard Tournament. You'll even see the iconic golden egg from the movie. And the shop includes, like I said, that Butterbeer bar, which is inspired by Chicago-style speakeasies. There's also a confectionery to get all your candies, and even a section dedicated to Chicago-branded merchandise.
Yes, take my money. It all looks good.
You'll probably find me in the Mina Lima section because I love all of the stationery and lettering stuff that they do.
Their work is incredible
for the films. So this opens up on April 10th, and we'll probably have some more images from the inside once that happens.
Yep.
Next up, a Disney California Adventure has brought back its Food and Wine Festival for 2025, and our podcast producer, Jeff DePaoli, brave enough to go out, try all of the new food items available this year's event, and rank them from 11 to 1. Brave man, sip and savor pass in hand. If you're going to do this, that's the way to go. You can either get a 4 sample pass for $32 or an 8 pass for $63. So I have not. I did not make it out to Food and Wine this year. But based on Jeff's report, I know that I would probably skip out on the cherry cobbler pie.
Yes,
that is
I was a little bummed by his Western barbecue burger bao because I really wanted to try that, and he said it tastes just like a McDonald's cheeseburger. So maybe I will try that.
Yeah,
that does sound kind of good. I will
It's true.
say the festivals out there just each year have gotten better and better.
Hmm.
So I do look for like the positivity, and there's
Yeah.
always new dishes, and inconsistency is normal. I am
Yeah.
excited though. He ranked the wings pretty high, and I love the wings last year, so I'm definitely excited to try that this year.
Yeah, my disappointment was I often find the stuff that is not, meat or seafood based. The stuff that's plant based is often a better value.
Yeah,
But a couple of the plant based items ended up on the bottom half
I
of Jeff's
know.
list. So we'll skip over that. The Impossible Sloppy Joe. We'll skip over that. But yeah, he's got right at the top. He's got this sirloin Gruyere mac and cheese with black garlic chimichurri and garlic butter crunch. And as a garlic fan, I would be heading over to the Garlic Kiss Marketplace. He ranked that a 9 out of 10, which is high
Yes.
praise indeed.
Oh,
But
yeah, there was a version of that dish last year that was one of my
Mhm.
favorites too, and
Yeah,
I loved it. That along with the wings were actually, like, my 2 favorites
yeah,
last year, so I'm happy to see them still, ranking towards the top.
yeah. It seems like they tweaked these just enough to qualify as new dishes.
That
But yeah,
always throws me for a
coming,
loop,
yeah,
because Epcot does that too.
lemon pepper chicken wings with a garlic ranch sauce. Only 3 wings, but nice and juicy. Strong lemon pepper flavor. Um, uh, so that is also ranked high on this list. And then coming in at number 3 was the corn chip chili pie, or a walking taco, as we call them in Florida,
Yes.
made with
Really, we
impossible
see
beef.
these at every single theme park. Every
Yep.
park does some sort of walking taco. I mean, it's never going away.
Yeah. And the you know uh, basic thumbs up for the ingredients. He found it tasty, but just want it to be a little more filling. So those are some of your top picks. You can read his full list of all 11 new items on our website at attractionsmagazine.com. But be sure you don't overlook some of the items that are not at the food booths, but found instead at some of the regular restaurants. Ant Cast Cafe in San Francisco is always one of my favorite quick services. And this burrata toast that they have that's got arugula and tomatoes looks absolutely delicious.
That looks amazing. And also the
Yep.
hotels do wonderful
Hmm.
events. Same with Downtown Disney, Paseo, a lot of those new ones, the little food hall, they're all doing amazing stuff for the Food
Yeah.
and Wine Festival that you don't even have to buy a park ticket for. So
Yes, and I'm sad looking at all this to be missing out on it this year. I'll be getting out there just after it ends, but you can be there if you visit the Disneyland Resort now through April 21st. Next up, we are headed to Texas in Dallas Fort Worth. On March 1st, the second Peppa Pig theme park officially opened. The first one, of course, was right next to Legoland, Florida. And we have a full tour of the park, including a map to help plan out your visit and POV videos of all the major attractions.
yes.
And if you haven't seen the Legoland Florida version of this, uh, this one is pretty much identical and just as adorable.
Yes, I love personally the Grampy Rabbit's Dinosaur Adventure, which
That
I
is my
totally
favorite
did by
ride there.
myself, and it was the funniest thing to just be like galloping around.
Definitely my favorite ride. It's like an outdoor dark ride. It's
Yes.
it's gentle. It's silly. There's no multi-million-dollar animatronics, but it is just perfect for the target demographic. Everything in this park is perfect for the target demographic. If you are much over the age of like 3, this is probably not the park for you. As a grown adult, I would feel super creepy being here if I didn't have a young child accompanying me. So maybe they should have a child rental at the front of the park for people
That and for Islands of
who are,
Adventure.
yeah, for Pteranodon flyers. Did you? I don't know if you heard, but this is a complete sidetrack. They had this surprise and delight moment the other night for annual pass holders. They just randomly buzzed the app if you happen to be in the park, they are handing out a certain number of tickets that adults were able to ride.
Yeah.
Throwing it on flyers during the last hour of the night. And I saw the message, and I had just left the park a little bit before that and couldn't turn
Jealous.
around.
Oh,
So jealous.
I know. I haven't gone on it in years. I need to rent a
Yeah.
kid.
Yep. Um, I also we do have a look at the menu, and when they first opened Peppa Pig in Legoland, there were some jokes about serving bacon on the menu.
Yes.
I want to point out that they are careful to point out that the pepperoni pizza is made with beef, not pork. But I guess Peppa's barnyard friends, like the cow, the turkey, the chicken, they are not so lucky.
No, they are not. But
We're
it
not,
is
not
very
going to
funny.
talk about that. Yeah, there is a hummus cup, though. That's what's important. You
A
can get
safe
hummus.
bet. Yeah. No, this is an adorable park. It's very, very small. It is perfect for little ones, and I think a great addition, especially as now we're seeing these regional parks
Hmm.
pop up.
Yeah. We'll see how Peppa Pig does when competition arrives from Universal's
Oh yeah,
kids. So that's a little bit of a drive. So Texas is big enough for the both of them, I think.
it is.
Heading next to Nevada, Area 15 is one of my favorite spots in Las Vegas because of Omega Mart, and it's soon going to be the home to Horrors Unleashed, the year-round Universal Halloween Horror Nights attraction. Well, now they have the John Wick experience as well. It recently opened at Area 15. And it comes from the same folks who did the Saw and Blair Witch and It escape rooms in Vegas, going back to the old Fright Dome at the Adventure Dome. They branched out from escape rooms and horror into more of a cinematic experience this time. And if you have always wanted to live out your fantasy of being an assassin, just like Keanu Reeves, now's your chance.
Yes, and I also love that the director of all four of the films is the creative director. So we're
Yeah.
keeping that synergy going with, some of the same creative folks behind the scene.
And if you look at the photos we have on our website, you can see it at least looks extremely authentic to the films. You're going to start out in the lobby of the Continental Hotel. Looks like it came straight out of the movie. There is a bar and a gift shop that you can visit without having to purchase admission. But once you do purchase admission, you'll get to see places like the switchboard room, the offices. Eventually, I don't want to give away all of the tricks, but a friend of the podcast, a friend of the magazine, Greg, our friend in the magic community out in Las Vegas, doing a little consulting on this, and he told me a little bit of what it's like. There's a kind of a casino section where you have to play a casino game against a bad guy. There is a target shooting section. And there's kind of a theatrical moment where you're kind of caught in the middle of a battle. Mixture of sets and special effects and some live performers. So they're trying to kind of branch out for something that maybe people who don't want to do an escape room can still enjoy a similar sort of experience. The way it's described to me, it sounds kind of similar to the Universal Great Movie Escape, except with more interactive moments rather than puzzles. But
I like
still
that
the same kind of
be
thing.
doing an escape room all the time.
Yeah, it's not so much puzzles, but sort of having an interaction and a theatrical moment moving from room to room. Unfortunately, Keanu Reeves himself is busy. He will not be appearing daily to just like meet and greet you at the end. That would be great. No. So this opened up this month. It was actually supposed to open last year, had a little bit of a delay, but now you can buy tickets on their website. Start at $50 per person, but I would recommend bundling this with some of the other attractions at Area 15.
Yep.
It's a better value, and you can, this I think takes less than an hour to do. So you can hang out and have some drinks afterwards, but you're going to want to do some other stuff while you're there at Area 15. There's a lot to do.
Well, hopefully we'll be out there in August or sometime after.
Yeah.
To go to
August is still a little hot. So I might wait till the fall.
Yeah.
We'll see. Speaking of sea, Margaritaville at Sea is introducing themed cruises starting in 2026. And in case you thought that every Margaritaville at Sea cruise was themed to Jimmy Buffett, no, there is actually going to be a Jimmy Buffett themed cruise on the Jimmy Buffett themed ship. So these are going to be 2 to 4 night itineraries. They all take off from the port of Palm Beach, and they head to the Key West, to Bahamas, and Mexico. And these are all going to be tied to celebrations and holidays in 2026. So, Carly, which of these Margaritaville at Sea themed cruises do you think you would want to jump aboard?
Well, I'll tell you which one I wouldn't do. It would probably be the Key West Fantasy Fest, because that always just looks like way too much for me. I am not like a football person, but the big game one sounds like a great idea. A lot of people love traveling for the Super Bowl, not necessarily to the Super Bowl, but to an environment where it's like really fun to watch the game.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a great time. The rest of these themes are just kind of like, I'd be celebrating Cinco de Mayo anyway. So it's very like loose theming, I guess I would say, as opposed to like a Marvel Day at Sea with Disney, if that makes sense.
I gotta say, if I was going to pick, first of all, the Key West Fantasy Fest one just kind of scares me. That I just imagine so many upside down pineapples on the doors of every cab. That's all I picture.
I wouldn't even wear a right side up pineapple.
Similarly, Cinco de Mayo to Cozumel on a ship named after a tequila drink sounds like a recipe for someone stumbling overboard.
Yes.
But they are doing a very merry Margaritaville at Sea. They're going to be in Nassau on December 26th, and that's when they have the Bahamian Junkanoo. And I last year when I was in Nassau, I got to take a tour of the Junkanoo Museum, and it is amazing. It might look a little like Mardi Gras Carnival. It comes from a completely different culture. The people spend all year hand making these amazing costumes out of newspaper and crepe paper and recycled materials, and they are stunning. People wear costumes that tower 10 feet over their head.
Right.
And they party all night long in the streets. And to be able to see that in person, I think that would totally make a Margaritaville cruise worth taking.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, and the Margaritaville cruises are already so much fun. So
yeah, and they are also quite cheap. They are definitely on the least expensive end of cruises coming out of Florida. And then right now they're doing a 50% discount on sailings through the end of 2026. So you can head on over to margaritavilleatsea.com for more information. And we've also got a video on our website with everything you need to know about Margaritaville at Sea. We are now hopping out to the West Coast for Universal Studios Hollywood's Universal FanFest nights that you are going to be getting to attend. And it looks like on top of the Back to the Future and Star Trek and Harry Potter experiences we've already talked about that you're going to have, you are also going to get to meet Elphaba and Glinda from Wicked.
Yes, Wicked just has no signs of slowing down. It's like every week we have a new Wicked thing to talk about.
Yep. So they have announced there's already kind of a photo backdrop meet and greet area that they have at Universal Hollywood for Wicked. But now for the FanFest nights, there are going to be live performers cast as Elphaba and Glinda. And I am certain that the line is going to be very long to get your picture. Because when
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw them, the version they had in Orlando, they were extremely interactive, totally in character, very talkative with each other and with the guests. That line's going to move really slow for all the influencers wanting to have their viral moment
I
with them.
was just about to say that. I cannot imagine. This is catnip for
Yeah,
influencers.
yeah.
Yeah, that line's going to be insane. I'm sure the casting is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's Los Angeles. Yeah, so this is going to be very, very popular.
Pop. Oh, yes, that will be very
Popular.
popular. And if you missed seeing them in Orlando, they are holding auditions right now for an
I did see
Elphaba
that.
and Glinda in Orlando. So they just appeared very briefly around when the movie opened back in November. Hopefully, this means they will be a year-round addition to Orlando's lineup, and maybe someday we'll get a actual Wicked theme park attraction.
That would make
Um,
sense.
we've also got a look on our website, this updated version of our article on the FanFest nights, a look at all the amazing merch that's coming out. The Pygmy Puff hat
Yes.
in the Harry Potter collection is just, I think my wife, if she sees that, she's going to need to buy that.
Oh, yes. There's gonna be a lot
And
of merch
also
purchased.
some extremely Instagrammable food themed to all the properties. There's a Back to the Future cookie with little flaming trails of icing
Yes.
across it, and I guess a sugar license plate. That's amazing. And the Star Trek food. They have a Tribble truffle trio. Say that 5 times fast.
Ooh, no. I cannot attempt that.
So a lot of great food, a lot of great merch, and I am super jealous that you are seeing this. Hope they bring it to Orlando in the future.
Yes, I'm so excited for this event. I mean, obviously, mostly it's because of Back to the Future
Hmm.
and Star Trek, but I'm just excited that we have a new event at Universal. I love HHN.
Yeah. So if you want to try to plan a trip out there, our friends at Universal Fan Travel can make it happen. And last up in our news, late breaking edition. On March 15th, Georgia Gold Rusher opened at Six Flags Over Georgia. And if you're kind of confused, that's because this roller coaster was supposed to be the Georgia Surfer when we talked
Yes.
about it in the past. But it got a re-theme after its initial announcement. It's got an old-timey gold rush mining theme for a surfboard coaster, the first Intamin Ultra Surf coaster of its kind.
It looks a little too crazy for me, although I heard at the preview there wasn't as much spinning. So I guess
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting to see when the weight is all on there if I'm going to be spinning around.
Yeah, so we have a POV as well as off-ride photos on our website to check out what we're talking about here. This kind of looks like if you've ever seen a Zamperla disco, this
Yes.
is like one of those on crack with
Perfect.
combined with a water coaster. It's like a big U-shaped track, so it's a back and forth shuttle coaster. It launches you up one way, you get a minute of 0G, and then you fall back and slide back to the other side. But the twist is in the middle, there's a big pond of water that you splash through, and your vehicle is an open-sided circular ride vehicle with your legs dangling out, and there's 2 of them mounted to what looks like a giant surfboard. So the whole thing can spin you around 360 degrees. Um, and so if you want to get both nauseous and wet at the same time, this one will do it for you at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little afraid just at looking at the ride vehicle. I also don't go on those type of disco rides. You know, I haven't done the new one at Carowinds, so I would try it maybe once.
The interesting thing to me is that they had a whole naming contest for this thing, I think, to come up with the Georgia
Yes.
Surfer. They showed us concept art, which kind of made the paint look job make it looks kind of like the that stand-up surfing coaster that they have over at Six Flags Orlando. Not Six Flags. I'm so sorry. SeaWorld Orlando. And then after they had that delay, it popped up with a whole new backstory, a whole new theming, which I think probably maybe goes better with the Georgia theming of the overall park.
Right.
So yeah, there's a whole backstory involving a mining machine and mining sleds, and yeah, so check it out on our site or head on over to sixflags.com. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's News in the Queue. Before we jump into our main attraction, it is time to hear a word from our sponsors.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at MEI-Travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
And for this week's main attraction, we are heading to Walt Disney World, where the Epcot Flower Garden Festival 2025 is now in full swing. I have not made it out yet to see it in person, but several members of our team have, and we're going to take a look at the topiaries and also the food.
Oh, yes.
We'll start with the flowers because, I mean, it is the Flower and Garden Festival. That is nominally we're not there to get drunk. We're there for the flowers. The good news is there is a brand new topiary display themed to Moana 2 right up at the front of the park that includes multiple characters and a backdrop, and it's quite tricked out.
Yeah, this looks amazing. I did see this in person. It looks great. I also love the returning Lion King. I mean, there's a lot of new and favorites, and it's just incredible what they're able to accomplish, with this.
Yeah, I mean, these are not easy to create. It's not quite like the old days where you have to grow a bush for decades to make one of these, but they still take time. However, as you say, there are lots of returning favorites because this Moana 2 display at the front is the only completely new display this year. Others have been moved around or repositioned or spruced up, but the only brand new one we have this year is that one. If you want to know exactly where to find all of these, you want to, as always, pick up a festival passport as you enter the park, and they have a very convenient listing of the locations for all of this year's topiaries, as well as a QR code to scan to get the map inside the app. So make sure you check that out if you want to check off all of your topiaries. And if you like checking things off, go ahead and purchase that Spike's Pollination Exploration map, available in stores all over the park for about $10. And that will take you around checking out all of the scavenger hunt trail to find all of the prizes.
Yes, and those scavenger hunt-esque things are surprisingly really fun, no matter who you're visiting with. I mean, whenever there's a mission, it's always a good time.
Well, and people like us who have been to the park so often, you stop seeing things. You just sort of I want to do this and that, and stuff in between just kind of blurs into the background. When you do one of these scavenger hunts, it really makes you slow down and pay attention to the details. You wind up seeing stuff that even if you've been to the parks a million times, you'll spot stuff you haven't seen before. Something I haven't seen before is the Inside Out 2 Emotion Garden, with these colorful potted plants that represent the different emotions from the Inside Out films. These are really cute. This looks like it is along the pathway in between the center spine going out towards Test Track. So we've got a video on our website, on our YouTube channel, about handcrafting flower breads at Disneyland Paris if you want even more horticultural entertainment. And I hope I get out there and see these myself very soon.
Yes, absolutely. And also to eat, which is what we're going to be talking
Yes.
about next.
More importantly, all right, now we've gotten that all that stuff, flowery stuff out of the way. Let's talk about the food. As always, John Self was brave enough to go out with a team and try all of the new food options to pick out both the best and the worst of this year's. He was out there for 2 whole days of the festival just to get through it all. And so on our website, we have a full list here. We'll go over just a few of them. I got to start with his honorable mentions because 2 things that I was really looking forward to: the seafood bake and the seafood ceviche, both just missed the cut of top picks and are in the honorable mentions. So I think I'm going to give those 2 a try anyway, because I was really looking forward to both.
Yes, and as we've talked about, inconsistency is normal. I have
Mhm.
people that have been to the festival a bunch. Their favorite item opening day is now like their least favorite item. So there's something curious about. It's not too much of financial commitment. If it stinks, it's, just try it.
And it sometimes helps to give the kitchens a week or so to break in and get used to the recipe. So let's start with the positive. And I'm so glad to see that he's got this year's grilled Gulf oysters at Magnolia Terrace Outdoor Kitchen on his best of list. I have the grilled oysters every time that they have them out there. Every year they have a different kind of topping. This time it's a Cajun andouille sausage, butter, and lemon. But like when I go to my favorite local oyster place and I get like oysters Rockefeller or a grilled oyster, even on happy hour, it's like $2 or $2.50 a
I'm
piece.
shocked
So
by
3
this price.
oysters for $8 that's like normal restaurant price. That is not Disney restaurant price,
Right? It
much
is
less
crazy.
festival.
I mean, especially since like the China booth is a lot of time overpriced, Italy, Mexico. So I was surprised by this. And I have to add, one of my best friends, Mark, went yesterday and got this, and he is an oyster snob and he was obsessed. He loved it. He said it was amazing.
And it's not just this one. I'm kind of shocked how Disney has kind of held the line this year on food and wine prices relative to SeaWorld and Universal's food festivals, where most items are going to be $11, $12.
Right.
And there's still a lot of stuff here at Disney that's, this s'mores bar, which looks delicious. It looks like an ice cream novelty, but it's brownie and s'mores inside. Only $5.50. Not a huge portion, but still.
That's a great price. Yeah, you need to try something new, different. And then this poutine is another one that a lot of people have been raving about.
Well, they have me with herb de Provence. That's like one of the seasonings that we go through the most in our house. Like it's so good for roasting chicken or potatoes or whatever. Never tried it on poutine, but if they could only melt the brie a little bit more than we see in this picture, the photo we have of it, the brie is basically just solid chunks, and I like a little bit of meltiness to my poutine. But
I mean,
that's
maybe
just
you're
my
going
take.
for like a cheese curd, but brie.
Yeah.
I don't, or it's
Yeah.
just high volume.
Yeah. So all right, so that's the best of. At the bottom of the pile, John actually picked a couple things that are not at any of the booths, but they're at the Connections Eatery.
Yes.
There's a lemon lavender Baumkuchen and a carrot cake liege waffle, and these are desserts that they normally have, but these are like a twist on them. And John and his team were not impressed with the twist, so maybe just wait and order the regular versions of those 2 instead. I think I might do the Garden Graze this time. That's the stroll through the park where you get 5 stamps and then you get a free dessert. because one of the things this time is a coconut chocolate flanocchio. I
Ooh,
totally
say
mispronounced
that.
that. I
Yes.
don't. Yeah, flanocchio. It consists of a chocolate cake with coconut custard and passion fruit caramel, and those are all things that I like. So I think I'm going to give that a shot. And it looks like the takeaway this year is a pineapple Dole Whip soft serve swirl
I'll take
in a souvenir cup, and we have several of those souvenir cups from over the years.
that.
Looking forward to another one.
Absolutely.
They used to
And then,
give you a little seed packet too, that
yes.
like
Oh,
you
I
could
forgot about
turn into a
that.
plant or afterwards. I don't think they do that
No.
anymore. And then finally, there's a few new outdoor kitchens this year. That pathway that goes from Imagination towards Canada, they had that all blocked off for the last few months, and it is a new Smucker's Uncrustables branded playground called Play Along Bay. And you've also got Yacht Grub and Beach Grub, which is the two new stands next to it. So the whole thing is a play on the Yacht Club and Beach Club and their Storm Along Bay pool over just outside of Epcot. Anyway.
But more importantly, you get free Uncrustables.
Yes, that is that. I'm sorry, I am totally burying the lead.
Yes.
Yes, free Uncrustables. So just camp out there. That'll be your dinner. Okay, we have a complete list of all of the new food available, and also some little behind the scenes tidbits from the Epcot chefs that Jeff got to speak with. The one tip that he has here is that to keep an eye out on the Communicore Hall, where they have the Farmer's Feast kitchen. The chefs apparently really raving about the facilities for that booth, and they are going to be introducing some new items later on in the festival that you should keep an eye out for.
Yes, and those are always the ones I love the most. So I'm I always get a little sad with the limited time menu.
Mm-hmm. So this festival is running now daily through June 2nd. And head on over to attractionsmagazine.com to get the full list of things to try. Thank you once again to John and his friends for bravely eating all of that food for
a lot.
Much appreciated. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of another episode. But before we wrap it up, let's take a look back and see what we have left for us in the comments. Michael Bingham, always excited about Epic Universe and always excited about the Super Bowl. Sounds like he would want to take that Margaritaville cruise ship with you. And he's also wishing that they would bring that Back to the Future After Hours event here to Orlando. Amen. Amen. John also pointed out that Six Flags and other parks have been having these naming contests for attractions and then totally ignoring the fans' choices. So maybe that's not the best way to pick your new ride's name. What else have we got? Yes, John also agrees that Epcot is now the best value for the theme park festivals. I think SeaWorld, if you are a pass holder and you buy one of those tasting cards and you fully use it, that's a pretty good deal. But I've never been able to fully use one of mine. So, and then I'm sorry, we have a correction from Jeff. We do not have free Uncrustables in the Play Along Bay area.
Oh, sorry. I was not referring to it being located there. I was just talking about the sponsor. I think the free Uncrustables are on that little bridge going over to World Showcase, like where you have the top on. And I believe it's just like Wednesday through Sunday, starting from opening to when they are sold out.
So this is kind of for something for the people coming in from the Yacht and Beach Hotel into the park to pick up.
No, I'm sorry. They're in the main like center walkway. You know that little bridge that goes over to Odyssey? They're like right in front of there.
Well, I will go on a hunt for them and let you know if I am able to find an Uncrustable for
Yes.
myself while supplies last. And one last tip from John: if you order that chocolate flan that I said I wanted to get, eat it quick because that chocolate
Right.
melts. Great tip, John. Thank you for all of you for your comments. Before we want to go, we want to give another thank you to our sponsors, MEI and MEI-Travel. Want to remind all of you to please give us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube. Please follow us at attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media platforms. Carly, where can folks find you on the socials?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly.
And you can find me at S. Kuberski or at The Unofficial Guides. And you can pick up copies of my books at theunofficialguides.com. Until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.